Good morning, guys. How's it going? Welcome. We have a special announcement to make shortly. That we're wrapping up season two.
Woo.
This season was a very interesting one. We didn't get as much guest on this one because we were saving them more for season three. So after today's episode, we're taking a break to set up season three with better guests, better content, better everything. I'm even gonna be having a new microphone. We're going the full 9 yards, guys. To make sure to give you guys the best experience, to give us the best experience, and we're gonna recreate some awesomeness together. So we're coming back. Let me just double check. Uh, the 24th. So marketing your calendar. The 24th of this month is when we're actually gonna start back up. We already have our topics picked out and everything. We just need some time to get season three situated. Better designs, better graphics, whole 9 yards. So,
Happy days. Exciting
yeah,
stuff. We've had a really good season though, haven't we, Michael? It's
yeah,
been a pleasure. It's been good. It's been interesting. I think we both can say we've learned a lot. And yeah, having season three and having like you said, you know what's the exciting part about season three? That we've decided to have guests, a lot
yeah,
more
more
guests on the
guests.
show. Yeah, and I think that's really cool because you get different people's perspective, different people's you've got expertise in this department too, that we can get their side on things. On relationships, and I just think it's really cool, and I'm really excited about it. So, the week away, don't miss us too much. We will be back. Don't worry.
Exactly, exactly. We will be back. So, with that all being said, let's get into today's topic. Let's talk about it. Stop
Let's
trying to
do it.
change your partner.
Mm.
Ooh, I think that's a
Oh,
problem. I think that's a problem for a lot of people because when they look at somebody, right, they like what they see clearly because they're entertaining them, but there's obviously like a few things that they want to be better. So a lot of times they'll look at their partner and try to change them into the vision that they have in their head instead of accepting them for who they are.
and then when they don't change to that, it becomes a problem.
It does.
And then I'm going to refer back to our last podcast where when people try and change somebody and it doesn't meet their expectations, then they will then go and speak very often to other people about their relationship. So
Mm,
that's why it all just ties together, doesn't it? Because look, you know, there's a difference, and I think this is something that many people get confused with, in the sense of, and I know we've had conversations about this, Michael. So you have a partner and you try and change them because you want them to be more loving, let's say, or you want them to show up more, or you want them to communicate more, and they're not doing that, and you haven't expressed that to them. And then what happens is, with a lot of people, is they go and then speak about it to others, and they haven't gone and spoken about it to their partner, or they start saying, you know, I don't like this or I don't like that about them. Why are they not, I want them to be like this and be like that, but it's not happening. But you haven't communicated it. And if you have communicated it, then you can't expect somebody else to change, and you can have a vision to see somebody, and I know I've done this before, where I can see the best in somebody, and I can see what their potential is, but because they're not reaching that potential, it's like I either accept them for how they are without reaching that potential, or it's, what am I doing? Why am I trying to make a
well, it's
change in
like
someone?
it's like you're trying to make a horse drink. That's what it
Yes.
comes down to. You're literally trying to push this person to become something that they don't want to become because in the beginning they showed you who they were,
Right.
you liked it, but not enough, like to the sense of you wanted it to go more. Like you're like, I want them to be more.
Mm,
And then you're trying to
absolutely.
push them from the to this huge change, and they don't want to be that. So then it ends up leading to actually resentment.
Yes. So it's like accepting them for who they are in this moment and how they are. And if you can't accept a person for how they are, and you really doesn't resonate with you, then you're with the wrong person. Like, you know, you're literally with the wrong person, because the person that you're with, you accept them for who they are, then you can grow together. You can
Mm-hmm.
actually take that journey together. But when you're looking at them and you're trying to see them different to where they are, and they're not meeting that expectation of what's in your mind's eye, then they don't know what's in your mind's eye. They look, at the
Well,
end
you're
of the
more
day,
focused on the potential than the present.
yeah, you're focused on the potential rather than the present, and the potential is not going to happen in this moment. The potential will come along. It's just like anything. If you're taking a process to buy a house, you've got the house, you can see the house that's there, but there's a journey to buying that property. You're not just going to wake up and there it is. It's And if that person, and if your partner is nowhere near that vision you have in your mind's eye, then again, you're with the wrong person, because you can't make a person form into what you want them to be because you want them to be that.
And I'm gonna say a big point when it comes to that. Is it truly a relationship? Because at the same time, you also have to ask yourself, if this person is not fully what you want and you're trying to make them change to what you want, and again, this is probably going to be a bombshell for a lot of you. I wish I had like a little bomb thing, but you actually end up withholding love from them, because what you end up doing is saying, well, when they become the thing that I want them to be, then I will love them.
Yeah, and that's very conditional love, isn't it? Going back to
Not only
another
that, that's
podcast.
that's conditional. um what you're not even loving the person off the jump. What you're saying is, once they change, then
Then,
I will love them. Think about that. You're withholding love until a requirement is met. It says a lot.
it does, absolutely. Like, to be expecting and having this requirement, that's a really good point. Is it a relationship? It's a relationship with yourself, because you're seeing something for yourself and you're expecting the other person to form to that self that you see for them. And so that's not a relationship with another. And you know what? Isn't it funny how so many people will do this? And then they will complain and complain and complain about their relationship, and they're complaining about their partner because they're not doing what they want them to do, or they're not being who they want them to be. And like, you can't expect anybody to be who you want them to be. You be who you want to be, and let that shine from you, but don't try and change somebody else. I think it's, like we said, accept them for who they are, for how they are. And if you can't accept that, then it's not for you. It's
Yeah,
just
you have
totally
to be
not for
willing
you.
to do that. That's the thing. You have to be willing to um accept them up front.
Mm,
It's like, let's say for example, you're not a smoker, and you're like, I will not date a smoker. Person comes into your life, you like them, they end up being a smoker. You say, I'll date them, but I will try to get them away from smoking.
hmm.
So then what you end up doing is you're still caring about them, loving them, doing all your stuff, but you're trying to pull them away from smoking. So then what happens is this person obviously starts to catch on and say, why do they keep trying to do this? Pull me away. They start to become resentful, because they're saying, well, you knew that I smoked when you met me, and now you're trying to change me.
And that's
And
not anybody else's choice to do. It's like if the smoker decides this is what I choose to do, I choose to stop smoking, then that's one thing. But someone to try and make them do that, or put that condition in place to say, well, you know what, if you don't stop smoking, like, that's it for me and you, let's say. Well, and the person says, well, hang on a sec, I had a cigarette in my hand when I met you and you didn't have a problem, and now you have a problem. It's, you can't just change your mind as and when you please when it comes to other people. When it comes down to yourself, that's up to you. You make your own choices, you do your own actions, and whatever it is you choose to do. But when it comes to another, it's not. Or using somebody's past, or saying something like, for example, if you've known of something about somebody, and when you met them, you found out about a particular thing. I can't think of anything that comes to mind in particular, but just say that's something that's happened, and you're using that to say, well, why are you done this back then, and I want you to continue. I'm trying to think of how to put this. Like, I just think that if anything in a relationship is, take it for what it is. Just take it for what it is, and there's a communication between that. And when you communicate to somebody that somebody could have done that little bit better, or maybe they're a fast driver, and you found out 2 months down the line that they drive really fast, and then you said, look, you know what, I don't really like it when I'm in a car and you drive fast, and they say, okay, and then you've sorted that problem out. It's just communicating things. And if somebody's not changing in a positive way, then that's for you to make that decision there and
well,
then.
see, like, okay, I'll give you guys a beautiful example. It's like, let's say you guys used to cuddle a lot in the beginning of the relationship, and let's say the cuddling has slowed down. We're not telling you to not say nothing. Obviously, you could talk to your partner, hey, I'd like it if you'd be a little more affectionate with me. That's different. But when you're flat out trying to change somebody
Yeah.
to fit your narrative, now that's a problem.
Yeah, if it's like somebody's a 9 to 5, let's say, and you want them to become an entrepreneur, you want them to start their own business, and they're not starting their own business because that's not what they want to do. And you're trying to push them, well, that's what I want you to do. I want somebody who has the entrepreneurial mind, and you're going to work, and I don't like that. Well, that's trying to change somebody that's what they enjoy doing, that's what they like. You can't come along and then say to somebody, I want you to do this, and if they're not doing it, then start moaning about it and getting yourself all in a twist about it because they're not doing that.
Well, that's what it comes down to, right? Because again, and you know what? I guess today you're going to get Pastor Mike today, guys. That's what you're gonna get today. I'm gonna use a Bible verse, and not some of you might be familiar with it, some of you might not be. How can two walk together unless they're agreed? That's a Bible verse, and you need to think about it like this: if you want to walk with someone, you need to be able to walk into agreement. You need to come to an agreement with them, and they need to come to an agreement with you. So, if there is no agreement, you cannot walk together. How does that pertain to what we're talking about today? Is if your partner is one way and you're aware and you're still trying to change them, you're not in agreement because you have a hidden agenda. So there was no agreement. You're like, yeah, I'll take it. And then in the back of your mind, you're like, oh man, like I want them to change. No, there was no agreement. You said there was, but you felt something else.
And we do, but a lot of people will just say things for agreement in that moment, but actually, like you said, felt something completely different and carries on and still holds that in them. And it does turn to resentment. 100% it turns to resentment. If you continue, it will turn to resentment. It's like if you're, I say the example of, let's say you're with somebody and you find out that they've been cheating, and they turn around and say, I won't do it again, and then you're in agreement and you say, okay, cool, like, I'm happy to move forward, and they continue to do it. So and then you get angry and get really frustrated. You keep cheating. I don't want, I can't trust you anymore, blah, blah, blah. But you stay in the relationship.
You're coming into agreement with the cheating.
You're coming into agreement with the cheating, but inside you, you're not, because you still don't trust them. You still don't feel.
You're trying to change them from not being a cheater.
Thank you.
But they're naturally a cheater.
But they're a cheater. If they're a cheater, they're a cheater. And you can't change that. You can't stop somebody. And if they're only going to stop if they want to, they're not going to.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
That was the caveat.
Absolutely. If you can't say to them, oh, you don't love me or you don't care about me, it's what they want to do. It's their choice.
Well, we're going to take it a step further. We're gonna go the max distance, since this is the last episode. Come on, guys. If you're dating somebody, and let's say you're a Christian, and they're wavering on that balance, don't date them. Because the reason why I'm saying that is, if you're strong, whatever you want to believe in, whatever your belief system is, if you stand strong in that belief system, you meet someone, you like them, don't try to pull them over to your belief system. Say, hey, I like you, but clearly we don't fit. That's just facts.
And there's a difference, with facts. And that's what it is. If you believe a certain thing, you can't make somebody else believe what you believe and then get upset about it because they don't believe that, or they're not.
Think about it. You have people dating somebody, dragging them to church, trying to get them to read the Bible, trying to get them to do all these things that they were never about from the jump.
Yeah. And you think that you can get them to do that, and it doesn't work. It doesn't. And I think it probably stems from people just wanting to make a relationship, just wanting to be in a relationship. So they try and do everything they can to make it be how they want it to be.
Well, but it is one of our topics for season 3. Are you compromising too much? And I feel like that's what people are doing. And we'll discuss more of it in season 3 for that topic. But I'm saying, why are you going to exhaust your resources trying to change someone? That's exhausting for you. Think about it. That's exhausting for you, and it's exhausting for them.
Yeah, just focus on yourself and what's good for you, and let that play out.
The best version of yourself in the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a really key point here, isn't it? Focus on you being the best version of you, and don't worry about what the other person is doing. Let it be.
Worry about what they're doing, again, in a sense, but I'm saying do not worry as in the sense of trying to change them to fit your narrative.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Because it doesn't work.
Because you're never going to have success with it.
No.
And it just, at the end of the day, you end up hurting you.
Happy success. That you could have some kind of success with it. Maybe there'll be something that you say and it happens, but they really don't want to do it, but they're doing it just to please you. Because there's another one where, it's the people pleasing side of things, but it's never, I don't think it will ever be 100% a happy success until, no, it just won't be, unless the partner actually wants to do that again. And that's what it comes down to. Because you imagine that you get given some food that you really don't like, and someone really wants you to eat it, and then they make you feel a way where you feel like you need to eat it because,
come on, just eat it, like it's amazing.
Eat it. Yeah, it's really nice, really nice. and you really don't like it, but you do it just to put the smile on the other person's face because they're like, you know, they're so happy that you're eating it, and they present it to you again, and you're just like, look, I really, really don't like this, and you do it to please them again. How many times are you really going to do that? You're not going to keep eating the food that you don't like. You're going to come to a point where you go, I'm not doing this anymore, because you're trying to people please, and the other person is trying to make you do something that you don't actually enjoy doing.
Well,
So
that
there's
could
not
be for
going to be.
anything. That could be for if you're a traveler and they're not. So then
Mm-hmm.
here you are trying to convince them to go on a plane, to go to Mexico, hang out in a cabana, drink tropical drinks, and for
They don't
what?
like
They
it.
don't want to do that. Yeah, Matthew, you know what? It's the last show. Go right ahead and share it. Go right ahead. We'll keep continuing the conversation until you share it. But you see what I'm saying? That to me, it's like if you're a traveler, don't date someone that's not a traveler.
Absolutely. And or then
Just
try and
don't
or
do it.
date them and then try and change them to become a traveler and get upset. It's like you hear people will say that they don't like to get on aeroplanes, and then the partner will be like, they just take it with a pinch of salt as such in that second, and then they book a holiday, and the partner's like, well, I told you I won't go on aeroplanes. Oh, get over it, it's okay, you can do it. Well, actually I don't like it. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. Yeah, again, stop trying to change somebody.
Well, since it's the last show, Anthony, I'll let you read Matthew's stuff, and we'll make it out a banger.
We are born. What is to come? Fighting good. Toxic mix of the young signals, expectations, smoking grass, escaping now, a corridor pass, growing in shadows, influence done, a pointless trophy, pretend you won. The middle well seems of that time. You can relate, question mark, a forward rhyme, adulting, whatever that may mean, acceptance, never making a gratitude.
Graduation.
Graduation. Sorry, the new lives now. If only we knew what to do. Question mark. Golden watches, a retirement. Sing memories in pictures. Dividing within. Waving goodbye. Anyone who cares. A single tear. My forgotten repair. I can't see any more than that.
Oh, that's it. That was it.
Okay, it's actually quite
Matthew,
good.
that's fantastic.
It's actually brilliant.
You should definitely keep writing poems like that. I know that I used to do a lot of writing back in the day and poem writing, but Matthew, that is fantastic. Don't
Thank
stop
you for
doing that.
sharing.
Clearly, that's a gift.
That is really a
Um,
gift.
but yeah, as I was saying, is a lot of times, as I said, it sucks because when we date somebody, and a lot of times, this is the crazy part when it comes to dating. We say that we will accept it. So let's say, for example, and again, we'll use the smoking one because it's very simple, right? You say you get to know them, they're a smoker, you don't like them being a smoker, but you say yes to them dating them anyways. You know what really happens? They start losing attraction for you because they can only
Mm,
tolerate the smoking for so long. They're not about that life. It's the
mm,
same thing if someone's adventurous and you're not adventurous, right? And you
mm-hmm,
go and you date them because they think they can handle it.
mm-hmm,
That's the thing. They think they can handle it, but it's like you know what you can deal with and what you can't deal with.
mm-hmm,
So what happens is you start dating them, everything good, everything's great, everything's lovely, and then you start to see you're like, I really can't tolerate that they're not a traveler.
It's funny, isn't it? Because especially with that particular example of being a traveler, that's quite a big thing in somebody's lifestyle to travel and not to travel. Like, because when you get with a partner and you want to travel, then I suppose the vision would be for most is that you want your partner to travel with you. So
Yeah.
and then you're going to have a miserable partner with you because they don't want to do it, but they do it. Maybe they'll do it again to please you. But how many times are they going to do that before they hit that resentment or before they go, I just don't want
The
to do this?
attraction starts to,
Yeah, the attraction starts to drop.
because it's not
to change.
aligned with what you really want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think this is like the lead up of everything that we've spoken about thus far, in the sense of vetting somebody, taking your time out with somebody, to understand the people pleasing, to, you know, to come into this point here to say, you know, just align with that person, get to know who they are, and really understand if it's things that align with what you like and what you want and your desires. And if it's not, don't move forward. Don't accept it just because you've met somebody,
Well,
because
it's
so
about
many people
staying
will do that.
true
And stay
to
true to
yourself
yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
and figuring out what it is you like and what you don't. And let's not play coy here. We've all dated around. We all know what we like and what we don't like.
Absolutely.
We all know what we like and what we enjoy, what we're not willing to deal with and what we're willing to deal with. So it's like,
Absolutely.
stick to that. If you're an adventurous person, try to date someone that's adventurous.
Don't try, just date someone who's
Yeah, just
adventurous.
date someone. Yeah.
If you're not a smoker, then do not date someone who's a smoker unless you're really happy with that and you have absolutely no issue with that. But I think it comes to a point that you decide at some point, if they really are a smoker, like a proper smoker, then you wouldn't want that around you because you don't smoke. And I know many people that don't smoke, and if they're around a smoker, they really don't like it. And that's absolutely fair enough. But you can't say to start with, I'm okay with that, and then later on say I'm not okay with that. You knew you was a smoker.
Because you came into agreement with it at the time, yeah.
Because you came into agreement with your actions, maybe not with your words, but with your actions, with things that you've done. Then you've actually given that signal out to say everything's okay. Like, I don't mind you smoking, basically.
But in the back of your mind, you're like, I hate it when they smoke.
Yeah, exactly. And then you cause a problem because that person was smoking. It's like, you know, check yourself. Honestly, turn and check yourself when you do things like that, because you can't blame and put that on other people. Look at yourself and understand, why did I do that in the first place? And take accountability for yourself.
Yeah, taking accountability and being a conscious aware.
Yes.
I would say are the two biggest things. And once you can do that, you can get a better understanding of how things work.
Yes.
So, guys, this was going to be a shorter episode. We weren't going to take too much of your time. Look, guys, before we go, we want to say thank you to everybody that's literally subscribed and that will continue to subscribe. You guys are fantastic. As I said, even sometimes just seeing one person in the viewing thing, it's a great reason for us to keep going. So we're gonna sit down, we're gonna settle out to give more value in season 3. And you're just gonna get better versions of us, because within that week we're gonna be growing, we're gonna be working, and we're gonna come back and give you guys the podcast that you both deserve, that we all deserve. So I would say that more than anything.
Exciting.
All right, guys. So we will see you soon. Take care, and we will see you in a week.
See you soon.